What is up, guys? Technicals here. This is a follow-up video to the video I put out about a week ago, the I'm Out video, where I highlight that I am selling off more than 80% of my GPU mining farm. I'm actually going a little bit harder than that, and I'm actually going to be selling out mostly everything to do with cryptocurrency mining, and I'm here to explain why, in my opinion, cryptocurrency mining just simply does not work as a business. That isn't to say it doesn't work as a hobby. I really think that it is a great hobby to get into, especially if you're interested in cryptocurrency. In order to be well-rounded, I think that, getting into mining just a little bit, just to get some experience with it, is a great thing for people to do, especially if you're interested in cryptocurrency. But these are just my opinions as a small business owner who also got into mining with about 100 GPU, a little over 100 GPUs, a few ASICs and FPGAs. I'm going to compare it to traditional businesses and kind of outline why I just do not think that it works for anyone unless you're at a massive scale. Now, I'm not leaving cryptocurrency, and I plan to continue to make mining videos because it's probably the only thing that really interests me in the cryptocurrency space. So I'm going to continue to make videos. I'm selling into Bitcoin. I'm not going anywhere, much to the dismay of some. However, I am going to sell off pretty much everything that I got left. I'm the Technicals. Let's get into it.
The Technicals.
Now, I tweeted not long ago that the world's best presenters are not experts in what they present, but that they're experts in presenting. This has been my goal all along with YouTube. I started mining well before making YouTube videos, about 6 months beforehand. And in the short time that I've been on YouTube, it's become very interesting to me. I don't only make cryptocurrency videos, I make videos on the vlog, and I have a few other sub-channels which are really just garbage repositories for types of videos. But it's really an experiment to see what sticks, and also to gain some knowledge and expertise in media creation so I can apply that to my company to help grow my business. And so I've never been an expert in mining. Despite the name, that's the name of my company. That was my name well before getting into all this. I did not choose the name The Technicals for my mining knowledge or for really any other knowledge. It just came along with the ride. And so that's to address some of the people who think, well, your name's The Technicals, you don't know a lot of technical things. I think it's kind of tongue-in-cheek humor. I kind of have grown to like it because I'm not I'm not technical, but yet my name is The Technical. So if you pardon the joke there, then you may see the reason as to why that's the name. But over these past few months, I've taken a look, and I look closely at my peers in this scene, mining YouTube channels specifically. And when you look at their videos, you look at my videos, you kind of can see that only a small portion of those videos have to do specifically with hardware, where it would be where it would make sense for them to actually have the hardware in hand. And of those small portion of videos, it seems to me that you wouldn't really actually need to have the hardware in hand. If you look at my top videos, a handful of them are about hardware that I never even touched. I just saw that it came out, made a video about it, and it got, to me, a lot of views because I'm still a small channel. This again indicates to me that actually having the hardware really isn't all that important. If you're bringing forth the information that people want to see in the form of a video, then it really isn't that important to have it. Now, yes, it's great to have hands-on the hardware, especially when a new piece of hardware comes out, maybe from a company that's not well known, just to see that it works, to see that it's legit. It's good to have that hardware in hand, and I hope still in the future to get my hands on some of that new hardware. Like, we took a look at the CVP13 from Bitware. They were very kind to send over, and I hope to again in the future earn the opportunity to work with these companies, review their hardware, and send it back to them in one piece. But again, when I look at some of my peers and myself, I can't help but think that I really don't even need to have this hardware in hand. If you look at many other mining channels, they have no more rigs or no rigs, more than just a regular hobbyist miner would have. And so I'm not too sure that having all this hardware running, keeping it running, following the coin du jour on a day-to-day basis is really necessary for YouTube content creation. Now, if you demand that that be the case before you bestow upon me your views and subscription, then I understand that completely. I would say, though, that I did have a hands-on, intimate experience with this hardware and many other types of hardware over the previous year, and so I do have a frame of reference for when new hardware comes out. So what about the business aspect? I've said in the opening that I don't think cryptocurrency mining will ever really work as a business. It's almost exclusively a hobby. but a hobby that you can still make some money on. There is value in cryptocurrency mining being a hobby for a lot of people. If you're just looking to generate a small amount of income on a day-to-day basis in supplement to your normal job, then it's a great thing to do. You just get the hardware, you set it up and run it, and then every so often, yeah, you have to keep track of what's going on, switch your miner, maintain it, follow the coin du jour, and then, yeah, you could profit, chase speculative coins, and you could, at the end of the day, make out pretty well. For me, I have a bit of a different situation. It's starting to come into effect where my time is really getting cut up, and I think this is a point a lot of people missed, is that my time is very valuable, and I'm not trying to sound big-headed here, but my time is better spent on my business or on some of my other hobbies that could be more fruitful. For instance, Grin has been the coin du jour over the past couple weeks, and many people asking, why didn't you just mine Grin? Well, the point is that I would have had to have known about Grin. It seems to me that in the very beginning, mining Grin was quite profitable. It's still profitable, but I would have had to have known about Grin, which would have required me to keep up with mining developments. When Grin falls out of favor, falls out of profitability, or completely implodes, who knows, it will require me to keep up with what the new coin du jour is and then move my miners there. It's that time researching and keeping up with things is where it's starting to present a problem. And I think a lot of people miss that in the main video, and maybe they aren't considering it because, hell, you just should have time to keep up with things. This is what you do, right? Well, it's not what I do. You only really see me here doing this mining thing, but I run a business. I have about 50 employees in this business, and I'm starting new projects. I'm growing new things. New websites are launching. I'm getting into a whole other segment of cryptocurrency that is not mining related, and it requires a lot of time. It requires a lot of attention, and my brain has a finite amount of wrinkles in it in order to devote to following the next coin du jour. My first business when I was the ripe old age of like 22, I think, it was called Blade Carbonics. I never did anything with this business. I never made a dollar. The business had to do with cosplaying. This was before cosplaying was a thing. If you've been in cosplay at all, you know about the 405th, also the forget the one that the stormtroopers do. What I would do is I would buy muscle suits on eBay and gallons of liquid latex. I would coat the suits in liquid latex. I would airbrush a really terrible design on it, and I would sell them as Predator costume skins on eBay. But that was fun to me. It was making things is what I like to do, and so that was kind of my first business. However, it became very apparent after I got into sort of the rhythm of selling these things that everybody else that was doing it never made any money. No one ever made a business out of it. At my scale, it would have never made sense to turn it into a proper business because it just doesn't make enough money. You can't sell these things for enough money to turn a business into it to cover overhead, salaries, taxes, on and on. It became very clear at that point, and when I started reading forums, people didn't really want to. It was a hobby to them. They just wanted to make these things in order to finance the next build. It was a hobby. It was a labor of love and passion. And for me, my eyes were on money. And this rings true with mining. When I first got into mining, everything was going up. I had just gotten into cryptocurrency. I saw, wow, this makes a ton of money. I could make this into a business. And I think a lot of other people thought that too. However, over the past year and for however longer we're going to go, it's very clear that only during very small periods of time are you profiting that much to really even consider that this might be a business. And once you average out those downtime periods, then it, to me, certainly does not make sense. So let's compare it to a traditional business. You maybe take out a loan and you go out and buy some equipment, some real estate, some products, some goods to sell, and then you open your shop. You take a similar amount of money and you buy mining hardware and so forth. With a traditional business, if your sales aren't up to snuff, you have one of two directions to go. You can cut costs or you can raise sales. You can spend money on marketing. You can slash prices and make it up in volume. You can raise prices, what have you. The point is that there are options. With mining, you're kind of at a ceiling. You're kind of in a not free market area wherein the customer is mandating what they pay to you. You get a finite amount of block reward, which the price of depends on the exchange, how much it's worth in actual dollars or euros or whatever. But the customer is mandating to you, is telling you what they're willing to pay, and if you want to come over here and mine my coin, then I agree to give you this percentage of share. Now, sure, when network difficulty goes down, you can get more of that share, but it's a finite sort of ceiling that you can't get above. So your only options at that point are either to reduce your costs, your electricity, or to add to your operation, buy more equipment, more hashing power, you'll get more share of the block reward. That makes it very limited in my eyes. You don't have as many avenues to explore in your mining business to increase your earnings. And so if we're comparing it to a traditional business, when you go and buy your initial equipment or your real estate, that stuff typically lasts a very long time. If you go out and buy a CNC machine or a newspaper press or something like that, you can expect at least 10 so years of service out of it. With cryptocurrency mining, you're looking at maybe a couple years that hardware is really viable, depending on what you bought it for. Now, sure, I'm ready for people to come out and say, I bought my 5-year-old card and I ROI'd on it a year ago and it's still running to this day. There's going to come a point where the electricity just doesn't make sense to run that thing anymore and it's going to give out. You have to keep up with fresh hardware, especially in the ASIC scene and probably in the FPGA scene as well if it continues to develop. With GPUs, at least you have the resale there, but should you really be looking that hard at resale value if you're optimistic about the viability of this business? I don't think so. And so looking at your upfront capital expenditures on a mining business versus a traditional business, I think that your options are much greater in the traditional space. Again, unless you value it as a hobby. And if you do value it as a hobby, it's a great way to earn some passive income on the side. I will never, ever come down on crypto mining as a hobby. I think it's great. It was a lot of fun building out the rigs, chasing the coins, back when that was a fun sort of thing to me. However, my tastes change. I'm not interested in cryptocurrency anymore. It's just that I'm required to keep up with these coin du jours. In my opinion, selling off for cryptocurrency right now, I should expect to at least return to the level that I paid for the hardware in US dollar equivalent. And to me, that makes a lot of sense because that means that I got everything that I mined as gravy. If I'm even Steven on the upfront capital expenditure through the gains of cryptocurrency, buying it low and having everything that I mined be sort of bonus, then I'm cool with that. I'm reading some of the comments on that video over the past week or two. Have been sort of critical. I swear to God, people on YouTube, they will read the title and they will look at the thumbnail, they'll draw their own conclusions and they'll start commenting without watching the video. And that's fine if you do that. I mean, I can't fault everybody. I probably do it too. I draw my own inferences from those things. But I'm not negative on mining. Mining's great. It's I still think proof of work is one of the best consensus mechanisms out there. I think it offers a great way for people to offer a decentralized form of network security to these projects. I don't think proof of stake is all that great because it requires you to just throw money into a pot, and I think that's a great way for a lot of people to get scammed. So I still think mining is great. I really like it, but it doesn't work as a business. I am not negative on mining. I'm just negative on things that take up too much of my time that I don't think are going to yield as much of a return. I said before, I've said a million times, you have to bill your own time. Everyone's situation is different. If you set out and are mining and you're not making at least X percentage of what your normal job makes, to me it doesn't make sense to do it unless it's as a hobby. Taking a look at what my current plate is like with my business, with these startup businesses, and with YouTube, which is currently something that I'm sort of passionate about, at least making videos and getting better at making videos, I don't see the mining component really being all that worth it. Now, some have made some thinly veiled expressions that perhaps because I'm not an expert in this field, that perhaps my opinion on these things is somehow inferior, somehow not welcomed, or, it just, I shouldn't be talking about things unless I'm an absolute expert in it. And to that, I would say I somewhat agree. This never was and never will be my goal. I don't want to become a guru expert in cryptocurrency mining. It's such a small facet of this overall ecosystem. And also, my point, as I said, is here on YouTube. I want to make videos and content. I don't need to be an expert on these things to make videos about it. The best presenters in the world, again, are not experts in those fields. You can hire writers, producers, all sorts of people that make a good product, and that's what I'm focused on. I want to make a good media product that presents these things in various other aspects of cryptocurrency. My focus, I'm not going to pour a bunch of time into getting a PhD on mining. I'd rather get the PhD on video creation. And to that end, being an expert in cryptocurrency mining would not fulfill my goal of what kind of content I want to create. I only really set out to make 101 or 102 style cryptocurrency mining videos. I don't want to make the really hardcore nitty-gritty stuff, because that's not appealing to a very wide audience. As we all know, the mining scene is not populated by a lot of people. If you look at my videos and really any other cryptocurrency mining channel's video comments, you got like the same 20, 30, 50 people that comment on every single video. It's a very tight-knit community. If I got ultra specific on those things, I'm just narrowing the band of people that may potentially want to watch my video. Now sure, well, hopefully I can get some more people in the future, but I want to cast a wider net. I want more people to take a look at what I'm offering. That's why I'm expanding into topics to do with cryptocurrency ATMs or accepting cryptocurrency in my business, or really any other broad topic. Mining is still my focus because it's what I know the most about, but I'm not going to get further and further narrow in this field and waste all my time trying to get a PhD on something that's just a very small segment of cryptocurrency. So to me, personally, mining only ever a hobby, and I think for a lot of people that's true too. Now, if you're retired, if you're a limited income, a student, someone who has a lot of free time or otherwise cheap time, then mining may be great for you as passive income. Or if you just have a passion for it, there's something to be said there. Back when I made cosplay costumes, I enjoyed making those things. I really had a good time making those costumes and seeing the finished product come to life. And so there was value in there on the pleasure side of things, on the fun side of things, for me to do that. Right now, I don't have any interest in doing that, so there wouldn't be much value in me making those because I cannot expect to sell them for any more than really what I put in to make it. I'm ready for you. Hit me up in the comments below. Let me know why this is all wrong, why mining will return, why mining is the best business opportunity of 2019, hands down, and my opinion doesn't count at all. Give me your best shot in the comments below. If you'd like to mine some speculative coins, check out thetechnicalspool.com. We're constantly working on it. Crypto winter sucks right now, but when new coins come out, we're trying to get them on there. If you've got a coin that you'd like to see on thetechnicalspool.com, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to bash me in person, you can hit me up in two places. At The Technicals on Twitter. I'm ready and willing to accept your hate there. Also check out discord.thetechnicals.io. Takes you straight into our Discord, or just click the link in the description below. I'm The Technicals. See you next time.